heading out to Costco to do some shopping, but also I know that at this time they have the spring bulbs. So I'm going to take a look at it, and I'm taking you shopping with me. So come with me as we go to Costco's and we get some spring bulbs to put in the ground to make our summer garden beautiful. I'm here at Costco and they have the bulbs out, the spring bulb assortment, and it is beautiful. They have the elephant ear, begonias. Look at that, very nice. Caladium, I think I'm going to get this. Caladium, I say caladium, I mean caladium. And different ones. And then they have the iris, the daylilies. Oh my goodness, this is so good. The alliums. I am so thrilled that I'm able to get this now. This is so good. And the hostas. Big Daddy, wow, that is huge. The iris, the fern, begonias, those are nice. They also have this other selection here. This is $19.99. where you can get a combination. They kind of set it up for you. And then they have this here. This one's on sale, $16.99, $3 off. I like this elephant ear, this one right here. It says 2. Let's look at this. Wow, that's pretty. They also have other trending tropical plants available as well. And they have the orchids and the fern. I'm back from my trip to Costco, and it was very nice. I enjoyed watching and looking at all of the different bulbs, and I ended up getting these caladiums. I had them before in the past, and it was just so beautiful in the garden. So this is what I'm going to be adding to my garden, and I'm thinking about putting them in these pots here that I have. I have these 2 pots, and I think they will look nice in the pots. I also got another variety here, and this is Caroline Wotton, very pretty as well. And I'm going to just put them around. It's 10 caladiums here, and I've had great success with caladiums before. So I think that both of them are going to be a great addition to the garden. So that was my trip to Costco, and I think it was a great success. Today my goal is to pot up these caladiums and the callas into pots and to get them started and put them in my greenhouse that I put together here so that they can be housed there. And when the temperatures rise to about 55, then I can plant them out in the garden, place them out in the garden. But I do want to pot up these caladiums and the callas, get them started. And if I leave them here in this greenhouse, that will help them to get started with the root growth. And you know, when the roots start to come out, then I'll be able to know that it's time to actually put them in the ground. And that's exactly what I did last year, and I had a lot of good success. Hello, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. I potted up the calla lilies, potted up the cannas, potted up some of my cabbage, one of my bottle cabbages that I had in the bottle. I decided to test it out because it was looking like if it was getting some iron deficiency. So I just wanted to see where they are, and it looks so good. I also was doing some planting in the garden, as well as just putting things together in my makeshift greenhouses that I have, and it has just been a really rich and full day. So come with me as we work in the garden here at Catherine's Garden and Home. Here are the caladiums that I'm going to put in these pots. I think these are 6-inch pots, and I'm going to put 2 per bulb in the pot. So that should give me 6 pots of caladiums. I'm going to use compost, water them in, and then put them in a greenhouse setting so that they can develop the roots. First, I'm going to soak the bulbs, and these are the caladium pink cloud, and they're pink and green. They bloom summer through fall, full shade to part shade. So these are going to want full shade to part shade. More than likely, I'm going to put them back in the same location where I had placed them last year in the back garden, and use that space for the caladiums. I'm hoping actually to place the caladiums next to these begonias because they both like partial shade, and I think they're going to look really good together there in the garden. This is what the bulb looks like. This is the top of the bulb, and this is the bottom. You can kind of tell that this is the bottom because these are where the roots are coming out. So what I'm doing is just placing them inside some water for a little bit so that they can plump up, because you can tell that they're very dry and they need some hydrating before I put them in soil. This is a good size. So they're sitting in water here, and in a little while I'm going to come and put them into the pots. I would say about a half an hour to an hour, let them get a good soak, and then I will transplant them into the soil. I'm going to put them in these little pots and put some soil in there and plant them in. What I'm going to do next is fill up these pots with soil, and I also have Miracle Grow. I was able to pick up some Miracle Grow Shake all-purpose fertilizer that I'm going to put in the pot as well with the compost. I'm using compost with these plants, with the caladiums, and they're going to live their life out in the pots. I don't think I'm going to take them out of the pots and put them into the ground, directly into the ground. I think that they actually do well in the pots, and I'm going to do just like what I did last year, which was to tuck them in amongst the other plants in the garden, and they did very, very well there. I have 12 caladiums, and I was able to get 12 pots, so I believe that I'm going to put one caladium into each pot, and since I have the pots, I might as well utilize them, and that way I know that the caladiums will have plenty of room to grow, and they'll get pretty big. So let me get started on filling up each pot with soil and with a little of the Miracle Grow. Okay, so I'm going to place each of the bulbs in. Now this is the bottom and this is the top, so you just kind of stick it in. This looks like a nice good size one, so let me stick it in like that. This looks like the top here. Bigger ones, I want to kind of put the larger ones in the bigger pots. They all are a good size. This is a nice big chunky one here. Let me see, I can put it in that one. So it's kind of smaller. They became very plump, which is really good. Let's see, stick that one in here, and the final one, and just place them there. So they're all placed in, and what I'm going to do is now cover them lightly with some soil and just set them in to grow some roots and get stronger. So I have here my calla lilies, and I'm going to soak them as well, and I have these 2 pots that I'm going to put them in that I had from last year, and I think they're going to look really pretty in the pots. Yeah, could you just imagine? Use your imagination. Yeah, I think that's going to look really pretty. So what I'm going to do is put 6 in, well, actually there's 6 all together, and I'm going to put 3 in each pot. So let's take a look at them and then also soak them for a little bit too, while so that they can be nice and plump and ready. The name of the calla lilies is Calla Lily Garnet Glow and Calla Grape Velvet, and they're both in separate packages. So let's just see what they look like. So this is what it looks like. It almost looks like the caladium bulb, the calla lily bulb. So I'm going to just put them in water, rest them in here, and let them plump up a little bit. So that's a good size one. You know, they might even just need their own separate pot. Look at this one. That's a good size. So this is the top, and this is the bottom. The bottom, the flat side. And here's the other one. Yeah, these are really good size bulbs. Okay, let's look at the other set. Ooh, this looks good. Yeah, not too bad. And the last one, let's see if we can find that last one. This one's kind of small. All right, so they're all in there, and then we're going to place them in. I think what I will do is put, try to even them out so that they're evenly distributed within the pots here. I also have some potting soil that I'm going to be mixing with this. So in this one I have potting soil, compost. I'm going to put a little bit of the Miracle-Gro, and that should be good for these bulbs. They should do well in this. A little lighter soil. The calla lily bulbs have been sitting in the water for about a half an hour or so, and now I'm going to transplant them into the pot. They are a good size, so I've decided instead of putting 3 in these 2 pots, I'm going to actually put 2 in a pot, and hopefully I'll be able to sort them out pretty well here so that they will have plenty of space to grow. Now this is a good size. This is a really good size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stick this one in here because it almost looks like 2 bulbs versus 1. So I'm going to just stick that one right in the middle there like that, and then I'm going to place this one here in this pot here, and another large size one here into this pot like that. Then let's divide up the rest of them. So since this one is a bigger pot, I'm going to put this one in here with it. It's going to be interesting to find out what color comes up because they've all been mixed in together. So this one here, I'm going to just add this to this pot, and the last one will go in this pot. Yeah. So let me just kind of move them over a little bit so that they're more spaced out a little bit. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm looking forward to the calla lily bulbs, and that would be great if to have these 3 different pots that I can place in the garden in different places, or even just leave here on the deck depending on what I want to do. So now I'm just going to cover them up lightly. You do not cover these bulbs with a lot of soil. You don't want to plant them too deeply. You want to just plant them lightly in here. So I have some mixed up potting soil that I'm going to use, mixed up potting soil that I'm going to use to just sprinkle on them lightly. Cover them up lightly. And the light potting soil won't inhibit them from sprouting because the soil is light. And as I said, I mixed this soil with compost and with this potting soil. I also put a little bit of the Miracle-Gro in it as well. So that's it. We've finished with the calla lilies. Isn't that fantastic? So I'm looking forward to them sprouting. So just imagine beautiful callas coming out of this pot. Let me see if I can set it up for you. Yeah, isn't that pretty? And this is going to be pretty coming out of the white pot and then out of the blue. Yeah, so I'm going to put them in the greenhouse here. I believe I'm going to just put them in here in this greenhouse and let them sit here. That way I can monitor them. But since I'm in the mood, let's get with it. Let's let the inspiration continue. And these are very beautiful. This is Pretoria canna, and I love the leaves. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. These are what the canna looks like. You could see that this here is ready to start to sprout, and this one as well. The others are kind of small, but they're looking good. So I'm going to just put them in water, allow them to plump up a little bit, and then we will place them in the pot. Just dump them in there. But that's good to see that they're already starting to sprout, because that's a good sign that they're ready to go. So we'll let them sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to put them in the containers. In these Proven Winners containers, I'm going to put the cannas, and they have been soaking here. The cannas have been soaking here in water, and I'm going to transplant them into the pots there and put them out so that they can start to develop their roots. And the way that you can tell which way to put it down is that you can see the roots on the bottom there. Don't you see the roots at the bottom? Yeah. And so here you can see that it's coming up. They will just sprout up towards the light. So in this container, I'm going to put these other two. I'm going to need to mix this up a little bit more. Yeah, because this is kind of rough. But I don't think that they will mind, because this is good compost. I even put in the shavings so that it will lighten it up hopefully a little bit. And they will grow. I think that they're just going to like this pot because it's very rich. It's compost, and they're going to like the compost. And just as long as it's well draining. And these pots are well draining pots. This is a leaf. So I think it's going to be just fine. All right, so let's look at this one. Here you can see these where the roots are. So I'm going to, it looks like it's, I don't know how healthy this one is. Oh no, this is rotten. This one's no good. Alright, so I guess we won't be using the third pot. It turned out that I am not going to need more than these 3 pots. One of them was really soft in the middle. This one is kind of too, but there's still some life in it, so we'll see what happens if they do flower. They're a little mushy in the middle. So we'll see. But if I get 2 good ones out of this, then that's not too bad. We know that that's alive. We know that this one is alive. All right. So I'm going to cover them up and put them away. I planted the cabbage in these water bottles, and they are looking pretty decent inside. But I think that they need some more nutrition. So this is what I've done, is just kind of pull it out here, and I'm going to pot it up in this little pot here, because it looks like it can do with some fresh nutrients, and I don't want to lose it. So let's pot it up and see what happens. Let's see if I can scoop it up. Okay, let's see how we can do this. Oh, you could see the roots. Do you see the roots? Do you see the roots? That's pretty cool. So let me gently put it in there. Oops. Not bad. Placing it in. See if I can get a little bit more soil. So I've added some more soil to it. And I didn't break my camera, which is good. So I planted it up. Now I'm just going to water it in and put it in my greenhouse. And that should help it along because it now has some fresh nutrients there. So I'm going to try and do that with the others to pot them up as well. I've decided to give it some nutrients here, some fertilizer from Roberta's Bounty all-purpose plant food, and I'm going to spray it using my water bottle here, my spray bottle, and that way I can water it in but also give it some more nutrients there. And I think what I'm going to do is just spray in each of the bottles because I'm not really ready to pot them up, but they do look like they're turning green, and I think it's a lack of nutrients because that alternative soil really doesn't offer a lot of nutrients, and they need some fertilization. And to come this far and lose my plants, that would be terrible. So I'm going to try this to fertilize them and see if this will help to get back the color. Looks like an iron deficiency maybe. Okay, well, the rest of these plants look good. This is my alyssum. They seem to be doing very well here. So I'll give them a little spritz. And I also planted some of the alyssum around my David Austin rose bush here in this container. I think that's going to look sweet. All right. So I feel a little bit better. I think that they will green up hopefully real soon. It has been just such a pleasure being in the garden, during this time. It's not too hot, not too cold. When the sun is out, you can really feel the warmth of the sun, and now that the sun is behind the clouds, it is still very pleasurable here in the garden. So thank you so much for coming and joining me here at Catherine's Garden and Home. And if you like what you see, come on back and join this gardening community. I want to say thank you to all of my gardeners, and gardening friends. And I hope that you've learned something new while you've been with me here at Catherine's Garden and Home. When I look at the containers, look at how it's overflowing with flowers. The impatiens are just overflowing here, and also the nasturtiums have picked up. I don't know what's happened here with this leaf here, but the canna is looking pretty good, and also the caladiums are spreading out and filling up, and it looks really beautiful. This one here, this container with the begonias in it, are looking good. The begonias are growing and flowering, and I'm so impressed with how the sedum is taking its place here in the garden. Also, the cannas are getting larger, and this one here, this container is looking really good too. Both of the cannas are growing in, and these nasturtiums are really finding their place here with the beautiful, look at that, how beautiful that is. I love these caladiums. I love the coloring, and it just matches so well with the impatiens. This is just a beautiful sight here. This came out really, really nice. Nice and full and lush. This one is doing well too. Now, this is oregano. I had a piece had fallen off, and I decided that I would propagate it. I just stuck it in here, and it looks so dainty amongst the white impatiens. And this is still my fig tree cutting that I put in there, and it's still there. Here's the other one, and there was one in here. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Oh, it's leafing out. Isn't that beautiful? So it looks like this particular one of the fig trees, my cutting, that it is rooted in, and it's finding its place here in the pot, which is great. It'll be able to spend the time here in the pot. Oh, it's found its home. Let's see if the other one, how it's doing. Here's one here. I don't see any growth there, but that's good. I mean, to get one of them to actually catch, what a wonderful surprise to come home to see that. And now this right here, this is one of the seeds from the bean seeds. The bush beans, I just popped a seed in here, and it is growing. Wow, that is exciting. So this is the container garden here on the deck, and I am so pleased with how it looks. Fantastic, fantastic. It rained early this morning, around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It rained, and it just stopped raining. It's around 8 o'clock right now in the morning, and so everything is wet and moist and ready to go. I believe that the temperatures are going to be heating up this by the end of the week. We are in Tuesday, today, and it's going to just be heating up. But since I've returned, everything has grown up. Everything is like 6 inches or more larger than it was before. And my back garden there, where the container is, I love how the caladiums, the caladium white queen is just taking over. Now this center bed is so beautiful. It's everything that I could imagine it to be right now. And to see everything just grow into its fullness like this, it's so pleasurable. Here we see the impatiens here. And then still in pots, I have those caladiums, but they're able to peek out and look stunning, I think, next to the purple perella. And then here I have my zinnias. And before I left 5 days ago, I had come in and cut back on the zinnias because of what was said, that these are come and gun plants, and then if you cut them that you'll gain more. So this is looking really, really good. And I love all of the different variations and variety of zinnias here. But I also like the fact that it's predominantly pink, which is good. You know, I like that. And so that's one of the things that one can do, is save the seeds of all of the pink zinnias and then replant this all pink and actually fill up more of this bed space with pink zinnias, you know, in the inner part. It's just giving me a really great idea here. And then the bee balm, to add more bee balm. As you can see back there, there's the bee balm. There's a patch over here too as well, but just add more bee balm cuttings in the spring like I did before, and just allow it to grow out. But I really am impressed, as I said, with this container, because that's what we've been looking at, the containers in the garden. And this container came out really, really good with the impatiens, the caladium. There is a begonia in there, Monrovia begonia, in there that has a little red, and some of the violets from, I think there's Johnny Jump Up violets from the spring survived there, and it's just looking so pretty here. I'm really impressed with this. Somehow I'm going to have to save these bulbs so that they can be larger and larger for next year. You know, I'll have that for next year. Let's go in a little closer. So I created a pathway, if you recall, so I can get into this bed. And it's a little bit hidden from the way by that plant, but it's important to find a way in so that you can tend to the different plants in the border. So I'm glad that I put it in there. But this is an up close look at these beautiful caladiums here. And so this is a geranium, the Monrovia geranium. Of course we have what is this called? Bindweed that's just finding its way here. I'll pull that out of the way. Yeah. But here's another one here. This is the flower. It's there. And this here, this is a proven winners plant. One of the proven winners plantings. And it's like trailing over. So that's really pretty too. Along with, isn't that pretty? Look at that combination. Yeah, that turned out really nice. And then of course we have the bee balm showing up here. Very nice. Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home. What can I say about caladiums? They are unique, they're different, and they're tropical in nature, and they provide so much color from its leaf. It's such a beautiful plant, and actually it comes in bulb form. At least that's how I purchased them. Now with caladiums, I sometimes wonder, well, why does it take so long for the caladiums to actually leaf out? And the reason why is because they don't like the ground to be cold. They love the temperatures to be in the 60s, the high 60s into the 70s, because they're really a tropical plant, or tropical in nature. So they like warm temperatures. And because things have been heating up over here in the Boston area, my caladiums have decided to show up. And not even just show up, they are actually flowering as well. Now in the front garden, because they are backed up or dug in the area where the concrete is in the front, where there's a lot of sunlight and especially afternoon sun, they have been blooming really well there and showing up in such a nice way. The caladiums in the front garden are doing very well because they love the warmth and the heat from the concrete. And also in the front garden, the sun comes in the afternoon and shines, and it really gets nice and hot. And the airflow is really good up there as well. So they're willing to grow. Then also on the other side of the garden, in my jewel area, I put some in pots just to add a burst of color with some impatiens. And it just happens that both of them are doing very well. Even though the impatiens is more of a shade plant, the caladiums seem to manage the partial sun and partial shade conditions. And then in the very back here, it is definitely much more shadier than other parts of the garden. And the caladiums are doing well there as well. caladiums in my garden, and next year I plan on buying more. Last year I only bought one package, but this year I bought 3, and I kept 2 for myself and I gave 1 away. Well, next year I will not be giving any away. Because I love them, and I think they're a great addition to the garden, especially now when we're looking for something new and fresh and exciting to add to the garden. Experiencing a lot of joy, and that you are feeling the peace of the garden when you come and visit me here at Catherine's Garden and Home. And I thank you so much for being a part of this community. Come on and join us here at Catherine's Garden and Home, and share the videos with your friends and family, and invite them into this beautiful garden. And we will experience a lot of joy and fun and relaxation as we grow together in Catherine's Garden and Home. Well, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. See you next time right here at Catherine's Garden and Home. Where we grow together. Bye. looking forward to adding these two caladiums to the garden, Karen Wooten and Florida Cardinal to the garden. And I want you to come and be a part of Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together, because I have some elephant ears and also some other tropical plants that I had that I'm going to be starting. So I'm going to show you how I did last year and what I did, how I saved them, and now I'm going to be bringing them back to life. But I'm also going to be adding these to the garden. So please subscribe to Catherine's Garden and Home for more videos and be a part of this gardening community where we have a lot of fun, and I try to make it interesting. For this gardening season, I'm really excited about what we're going to be growing in the garden, and I'm planning on being very intentional about it. So I expect you to come and join me. That's right, come to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. Yes, grow together. And I want you to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more videos, and like this video. Encourage me to keep on keeping on in the garden. It's going to be great. So come and join me. And I think I'm going to create a premiere, because I've had these caladiums before in the past, and they did very well in my garden. And I just want to let you see what the possibilities are. So stay connected, become, subscribe, hit the subscribe button so that you will know when the videos are coming up, and you will enjoy them. I'm sure you will. All right, so see you next time right here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. Bye. bye.